They collected communiques. Individualists tending towards savagery. First communique. 27 April 2011. If you think I am a pessimist, you haven't understood anything. Nanotechnology is one of the many branches of the system of domination. In recent years, there has been significant progress in American countries like the United States, Canada, Brazil, and also in Mexico, where there has been an accumulation of domestic and foreign capital for the creation of nanoscale technology. Nanotechnology is the furthest advancement able to exist up to now in the history of anthropocentric progress. It consists of total study, of scrutiny into the manipulation and domination of all the smallest elements, invisible to human eyes. With this, humans have now managed to control everything. Absolutely everything. From changes in the climate to the smallest atomic molecule. Now civilization, aside from threatening our freedom as individuals, the freedom of the animals and of the earth has now transferred its threat to a scale of less than a micrometer. National institutions and corporations that conduct rigorous studies and research for the commercial development of nanobiosciences are varied. They range from the Mexican Petroleum Institute, IMP, with the help of Pemex and CFE, the National Autonomous Universities of Mexico, UNAM, Autonomous Metropolitan University, UAM, Ibero-American University, the Potosina Institute of Scientific and Technological Research, among others, with its Environmental Nanotechnology University Project, GlaxoSmithKline, Unilever, Syngenta, among others. This kind of technology is growing. The branches it has encompassed can hardly be counted. Medicine, military, cosmetology, petrochemistry, nuclear, electroinformatics. But these are just the beginnings of what it can encompass. Faced with this growing, quote, evolution, many grandiloquencies have been made to nanotechnology. Technologists have declared that it will be good for the environment, that it will solve the problem of contamination by means of nanocatalysts. Cleaning the water, the air, they claim it will bring an end to many diseases that are currently incurable or only treatable. They declare that there will be a new application that can be given to petroleum byproducts to create new sources of energy. They declare that food will be more nutritious and infused with antibodies to make people stronger and healthier. In short, an innumerable list of, quote, wonders have been thought up by those who persist in nanometrically developing another, quote, superior way of living. Their promises resemble the ones they intoned at the beginnings of the Industrial Revolution. They said that we will live better, that they would solve the problems that humanity was facing in those years. What was the reality? The synthetic, dull, concrete, and metal world. What can we expect from the new scientists who repeat the same promises? But the side that the scientists do not show is that, for the time being, nanotechnology has tortured millions of animals kidnapped directly from the wilderness in their laboratories to test their new products. Experiments so aberrant that we cannot imagine them. World powers are getting ready for biochemical and nuclear wars to finish completely with the political, diplomatic enemies they have made available new technologies with the ability to become intelligent and cause irreparable damage to the human body and the environment. Nanoparticles travel at a very high speed inside the body. They can invade the bloodstream and penetrate organs like the heart, liver, brain, spleen, and lungs, where they destroy cell membranes, where they can spray toxic material and create reaction much more agonizing and lethal than nuclear contamination. These manipulated particles can be inhaled by humans, plants, and animals alike, which would cause an ecological imbalance of large-scale concern. Breathing will cause illness or death. There will be new allergies, outbreaks, and plagues, all impossible to diagnose. Drug companies will make their grand entrance, creating accidents as they have done before, from the quote, welfare of humanity, until all the money available they can take with their businesses runs out. And this is how the puzzle of civilization is completed. It is in this way that the cycle never ends. Tomorrow we will live in another world already sick of in itself because of technology advancement and expansion of civilization. Nanomotors are one of the newer developments now. With these, they intend to give life to nanocyborgs with low levels of energy consumption. In this way, robotics and nanotechnology together have put on the table the creation of artificial intelligence, which many thought would be just science fiction. Machines will be producing machines, self-repairing and self-replicating without a hitch. Total domination will have reached its peak when human clones are created, when they design, through nanotechnology, the total manipulated model without any wild impulse or instinct. Molded by repetition of daily submission, they will create this more, but the consequences will be high. The looming threat of explosion of manufactured nanoparticle pollution will blow into the air, water, and land. It's very real, if this technology continues. Chemical reactions will be serious tomorrow. A nano-catastrophe will be a daily reminder to humanity of what has been lost by trying to be more civilized and modern. Undoubtedly, civilization, a human intervention, has taken over all aspects of non-life, has created this and more to the point that computerized biochemical weapons with intelligence devices are already tested in the Middle East conflict, with an excellent pretext to seize the black gold, oil, from Arab nations. Day by day, we see eyes terrorized by the irresponsible attitude of humanity towards the wilderness. We realize that we live in a technological nightmare. Birth, consumption, death. It's a torturous cycle within the cities. The last reserves of wild environment are converted into, quote, protected ecological zones. And the destruction advances, moment by moment. This can be seen in oil spills in the Amazon, in South America, in the Gulf of Mexico, in the radioactive water in the Sea of Japan, the devastation of entire forests in Russia, the super-exploitation of minerals in Africa, large-scale production of cars in Europe, the extinction of thousands of species per year, the construction of superhighways, subways, and residential complexes that traverse vast forests. Technological progress is bringing an end to the world that we subsist in for now, which is already decent. In Mexico, as mentioned, nanoscale technology continues to grow. The administration of the state of Mexico wants to stay at the vanguard of progress and modernity, and through the morbid and mediocre goal of reaching the national presidency, and therefore has built the Polytechnic University of Valle, Mexico, where the nanotechnology degree is one of several courses complicit in technological development. The reasons to attack all types of growth in nanoscience are quite strong, and therefore we have sent a parcel bomb to that institute on April 14th of this year, specifically to the head of the engineering division in nanotechnology, Professor Oscar Alberto Camacho Alguin. We have no hesitation in attacking those persons who are key to the climax that technology wants to achieve. We prefer to see them dead or mutilated, rather than continuing to contribute to their scientific knowledge to all this shit, to continue feeding the system of domination. We do not see through the lens of, quote, humanity, that huge and twisted mass of the deranged swarming every which way. We see through wild nature, and reason has led us to radical action, to make it clear that we will not shake their hands, but will attack with all our means. This imposed reality, and those who support and defend it. With this action, we conducted. We have not struck powerfully at the mega machine, and we are aware that with this we have not changed anything. Maybe the state or federal police now predict that the university community, maybe nanotechnologists, will realize that we see them as enemies. Perhaps the state of Mexico will begin more in-depth investigations, but nothing more. And we say this because we know that all the efforts we make against the techno-industrial system are useless. We have seen the immensity of this great mass of metal and concrete, and we realize that all we ever do at one time or another will not stop progress, and less so if there are still false radicals and leftist struggles that aim at destruction of a target, but have not yet noticed, have not viewed beyond. That all this does not do anything. Some think that this is pessimistic, think that we have fallen into defeatism. But no. If we had fallen into these traps as civilization, would not be making explosives for technology staff. We say this rather because it is the reality, and we know that reality hurts. What is needed to hit hard from within a Unabomberist idea at the system? To put nanobiotechnology, telecommunication industry, electricity, computers, oil in our sights, and if we strike them unanimously with others in different countries, all that, what would happen? Would we deter anything? Civilization is collapsing, and a new world will be born. Through the efforts of anti-civilization warriors, please, let us see the truth, plant our feet on the ground, and let leftism and illusions fly from our minds. The revolution has never existed, nor had revolutionaries. Those who view themselves as, quote, potential revolutionaries and seek a, quote, radical anti-technological shift are truly being idealistic and irrational, because none of that exists. In this dying world, only individual autonomy exists, and it is for this that we fight. And although all this is useless and futile, we prefer to be defeated in a war against total domination than to remain inert, waiting, passive, or as part of all this. We prefer to position ourselves on the side of wild fauna and floral that remain. We prefer to return to nature, respect her absolutely, and abandon the cities to maintain our claim as anti-civilization warriors. We prefer to continue the war that we have declared years ago, knowing that we will lose, but promising ourselves that we will give our greatest efforts. Because while some factors within civilization indicate to us that we have been domesticated for years biologically, we still continue to have wild instincts that we hurl in defense of the whole that we are a part of, the earth. This does not end here. Total support with the anti-civilization prisoners in Mexico, with the Chilean comrades, and with the furious Italians and Swiss. I have lived my life without ever giving up, and I enter into the shadows without complaints nor regrets. Individualities tendiendo a la Savagery. Individualist tending towards savagery. This book can be bought from Little Black Cart at littleblackcart.com. Individualist tending towards the wild